Hello everybody and welcome back once again to the Mania 4K World Cup 29. I mean, not once again, it's the first time it's a 2019 edition, but you get the idea. I'm Juan Crystal commentating the light drawings for today and the Mappool showcase. I'll be joined with Stupid Man and Toph Daddy, both former US players from last year.
Former? I knew you're a curve right now. we got a mistake with that one. So one former, one current. Also, okay. I mean, if you want to be technical with the whole once again thing that you said earlier, I mean, there was an Mania World Cup this year, so We don't.
Oh, that is true. The 7Q1, yeah. Anyways,
My mind is blown.
yeah.
So, before we get into the live drawing, what do we guys expect? What do we expect from this tournament? Is it gonna be as exciting as last year? I think last year was a pretty good World Cup in general for 4Key. We had pretty intense matches between the US and Brazil.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm more excited for this tournament than I was about last year's. So.
Yeah, I think there's actually like a lot of like opportunity for like there to just be like more exciting matches, and actually I think it's gonna be pretty interesting seeing like the Mappools like being selected by I think a fairly like new set of people. So I think there's actually like just a lot of like unique things to like look forward to, I'd imagine.
Not to mention we have some new faces in top seed this year than we've seen in 4Key.
That'll actually be interesting to look at during the live drawings. I think it would make the groups like just, I don't know, like probably like a bit unexpected for some of the viewers, but
it'll be more interesting. I think the top seeds are a lot more balanced this year in terms of like I think there's quite a few of them that have the opportunity to be knocked out in groups, like more so than most years.
Oh, I didn't see that one come. I guess we'll get to start to spin the wheels soon then. To figure out which of those teams might be in danger, because I know that some of the high seed this year are looking quite solid, but I will disagree with you, Tom. I think most of the top seeds are pretty safe.
I don't know.
I'll say all the top seeds except for maybe 2 of them if they get specific teams from high seed in their groups. If that happens, then it's possible that maybe the top seeds won't get knocked out in groups, but they'll definitely like not top their group, and that actually could be interesting in round of 16. We could see some really like close matches going. But I think with that we'll be getting into the roles right now. I'd imagine this is unseeded teams.
This is the unseeded category, exactly, and as you can see we have the teams as follows: Hong Kong, Denmark, Switzerland, Finland, Spain, Norway, Peru, and Venezuela. Those are the unseeded teams for this year, and I'll say that maybe a couple of these teams are a bit surprising to be on this seed, like Finland, for example. I will assume most people were expecting Finland to be higher up there, but they didn't really have their same roster as last year, so that kind of hurted them. About the rest, I think it's about what we expected, right?
Yeah, sorry, Toph, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, they got a couple good players. I mean, missing Camo is obviously a pretty big hit, but even so, they got, like, Daughter, who is extremely good at long notes, and, the team in general is pretty well-rounded. I think they're probably one of the toughest of the unseeded teams. Probably not going to be the one you want to face if you're, like, a lower high-seeded team.
Yeah, I would also say Norway, too, is, like, I feel like they stick out like a sore thumb compared to all the other teams because their rice skill be absolutely crazy just with like their main set of like 3 players. So I would say if you're a low seeded team looking to probably place like at least 3rd in their group, I would say it would be a lot harder if they had Norway in their group. So that's definitely something to look out for. If someone gets Norway in their group, that's probably gonna be rough for them.
Right, so we're starting to spin then, and the first team to be drafted in Group A, it's gonna be Peru from South America.
This team, I believe, is it one that we played last year, Tim?
We did play with Peru last year.
Yeah, I will say, I know if DeZero is playing this year, I need to pull the team.
He is playing,
yeah. He is a good player and definitely someone to look out for, like just for the Peruvian teams. Definitely keep that in mind if you are going to watch games of them. I think they actually could put up some decent results.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem when it comes to like Peru is that they have like 2 very solid top players, and then the 3rd player tends to like weaken out a little bit. But I think this year they might have. Obviously, people are going to have been improving, so maybe they're going to be changing that this year.
Wish the best of the lucks for Peru then. We're going to go to Group B now. It's going to be the Swiss team, Switzerland. It's going to be joining the Group B here, a team of 3 players, so a bit dangerous, I'll say. Oh, actually 4. Yeah, they got 1 player right at the very last second. I'm wrong.
So that'll be Gamer97, Dore, Adream, and Tupidix, I think, if I'm pronouncing that stuff correctly. Excuse me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think actually Gamer I know has had some pretty good performance in the past, so you know, I actually especially on LNs as well, so maybe that is something to look out for when playing against Switzerland.
Now for Group C, we will have the next team being drafted, and it's gonna be Hong Kong. Another one of those teams that at one point, maybe some years ago, they made it through the group stage into round 16. I remember them. They were playing against Canada. I think it was in 2017.
I remember like one Baby Metal song being played as a tiebreaker or something.
Yeah, like they played that against Canada in 2017. They made it through groups barely, I should say. They ended up, I think, getting through because they went to tiebreaker with Norway a couple years ago in 2017, and that was after a reverse sweep, so they ended up barely making it through groups, but losing a couple players. They still do have Muncha, so they could be a bit of a threat. Their team being 4 players, just like Switzerland, being Muncha, Risizis, SN7, 1163, and Yana Feya. So losing some players, but still they made it through groups with a 3 or 4 person team in 2017. So they're probably definitely going to be standing to do it again if they have anything to say about it.
Now into Group D, we're gonna be seeing Denmark being drafted there. Another one of those teams that, on paper, they look solid, but they have 3 players, and they lost quite a few from last year. And some of the players that could potentially play this year, unfortunately, did not sign up. I'm thinking like Tails, for example, who will be a decent addition in terms of the more of the anti-meta stuff in the maps in the pool. I think on Rise, Denmark might be fine, but the pool also has other elements, so they might struggle. They have currently on the roster Joel, Crowy, Nive, or Niv, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But I think Denmark might have a hard time this year, but you never know. If they can pull out their Rise, then they may have a chance.
Yeah, I think even like when you have 3 good to decent players, even in the act department when it comes to groups, it can be really hard just because of how draining having to play every single chart is. And because of their 3-person roster, none of them get breaks. They have to, every single one of them has to play every chart.
Oh, and then not to mention this year, actually, all the map pools actually have 1 extra map, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
I think it's 2. I think it's 2 extra maps.
Yeah,
because there's a possibility
like a lot
of
more work to put in for any team that's like got like a shorter. I think we'll mostly see those teams like with the shorter rosters in the unseeded category, except I suppose high seed, which we'll see momentarily. We'll save that for later.
Now for Group E, we will have Team Spain.
Spain, interesting because we do not see Aitor on the roster, but I don't think that actually stops them from being a somewhat decent unseeded team.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Like, sure, with Aitor, they will probably be a stronger team. I'm not sure if they will have made it into the low seed with him anyways. But I think the Spanish team is looking a bit rough without Aitor. I don't think they are like not able to compete at this level of difficulty. I think it should be fine. But again, the low seeds are looking scary this year, so it might take them a lot of work to take those points. Perhaps they'll win against the low seeds and of course the high seeds.
Yeah, absolutely. I can agree with you there. I will say that a few of the Spanish players actually do have like decent performance in the past or like past MWCs. I think Green Soul actually does come to mind for that. But we will see how they actually do fare this year, as like you said, the competition is rough, and yeah, I can really see a lot of things being like a lot harder this year.
So now for Group F, the favorite group of the chat and all the people. It's gonna be F for Finland.
Oh, that works perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finland being a team with actually 6 players, so you know we could see it being like a lot easier for them to like balance out the map pool and actually play through it more conveniently. Their team this year is Daughter, Strachi, the True X-Fish, Mad Kure, Princess Well, and Koti Mama. I can definitely point out like Daughter right now is a pretty decent player and actually someone that's probably, I would say, a force to be reckoned with in group stage. So that's definitely like something to look out for this year.
Now into Group G, we will have it between Venezuela and Norway. Arguably two of the strongest unseeded, and we have Venezuela for Group G and obviously Norway for Group E. I mean H. I don't know how to read.
But yeah.
That was easy.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that will be H. Yeah, after the G, you have the H. Now, I had problems with countries before and their continents. Now my problem is with the alphabet and the letters. So, yeah.
Right, we're slowly going down in grade levels with what you forget. So we got like first grade geography and then kindergarten letters. What are we doing next year?
Anyways, with Group G, Venezuela, we have a roster of Yeezus, Doryoku, Sissel, Edvo, and Chichinia. And I believe this is about the same roster they had last year from them. It's about the same anyways. I do recognize Yeezus and Chichinia, and I believe Edvo as well. So I could actually expect like similar performance last year, which isn't actually too bad from what I remember. So yeah, actually that might be a little bit rough for the low-seeded teams in both groups G and H. Like you mentioned, Juan, these are two teams in the unseeded category that are probably like the hardest to deal with in group stage, especially Norway. Like with their, I would imagine they'd have pretty good accuracies. So definitely, if you're a low-seeded team, like keep that in mind when you're playing against them.
Yeah, similar story comes around with Group H, which we got Norway, and like you said earlier. When we were going over the no seeds, they might be one of the most dangerous of the low seeds just because their rice is very strong compared to a lot of the other teams here. So they have like a valley to go through to try and trip up their opponents, whereas many other of the teams like don't even have that opportunity, might not even have that opportunity. But being very strong in the rice department will give them, I think, a very good chance of putting up real points and getting teams scared to be in their group.
Yeah, definitely. I think Norway's roster right now being bizarrely fast. Mart ZOZ, Jessen, Carl F, Jurare, and Zek. The first three players that mentioned right there, like bizarrely fast, Mart, ZOZ, and Jessen are, at least like just from what I understand, are like pretty decent rice players, and like that, I think that's kind of scary for group stage. But I think with that, we are ready to move into the lower seeds now.
And into the low seed, as they are being loaded here into the client, we have Malaysia, Mexico, Canada, Russian Federation, Sweden, Germany, Taiwan, and the Netherlands. So those are the 8 teams of this category, and we are starting to see some teams that are quite scary already.
Oh yeah, like I would
Malaysia,
say Malaysia,
Mexico, Canada, like
these are teams that are easy like high seeds. Yeah, these are teams that are like easy like high seeds last year. Or like even their best, their like most optimal rosters are easy like high potentially top seeds. And
I mean,
they're scary right now as is. So
yeah, we had Canada last year as a top seed, Malaysia last year as the hardest high seed to get, probably should have been a top seed. Sweden was a high seed. Just
this is gonna be crazy to deal with, I think. I will say that a lot of the teams' rosters this year are pretty different from what they were last year, which I would argue justifies the lower seeding placement this year. But that does not excuse, like, it doesn't take away from like how hard these teams are going to be, or going to be like how hard it is going to be playing against these teams. There we go. This year, like I can imagine that some of these teams can actually upset.
Hey, that's Peru with a leaf in the middle.
Yeah,
we have Peru and then Peru with a leaf. Are we starting a new meme now?
Maybe, yeah.
I like the top row all being red and white flags, personally.
We're starting to run out of red and white flags now, so that's kind of the last one.
Nah, man. Just make them up. Alright, but Canada, like we were saying, last year was a top seed, got knocked down to low seed this year. They're with their roster of Piggy, Kiora, Nunotaba Shinobu, RPA 97, Stability, and Genuine. Lots of recognizable names, especially from last year, namely Piggy and Kiora being big players from last year's team. And then RPA being a quite known figure in Vibro and other high-end endeavors, as well as Genuine playing in the World Cup plenty of times. So they got strong and seasoned players, but missing Dot and Barry is putting a bit of a damper on what their potential would have been. Though even so, Piggy and Kiora are both extremely fast, not to mention Genuine being pretty good on anti-meta stuff like long notes and SVs in general. And Arpia being able to bring a certain element of speed as well. They're still going to be very strong in general.
Yeah, I would say in group stage they're definitely going to shine, and they actually do cover like a decent amount of skill sets in group stage. So we actually could see them, at least in terms of seeds, like upset and actually potentially get out of groups the way they. It definitely is going to be an uphill battle for that one.
Now into Group B, we're gonna start spinning the wheel. We'll see with Switzerland. They're gonna be joined by Malaysia. Okay then.
That is a hard.
That's a hard group.
Yeah.
That's a hard start on low seeds actually.
We're getting
I would
all
easily
the
put
bad
Malaysia.
teams out of the way.
Yeah, I would easily put Malaysia as like one of the best low seeds out there. Like their
Especially group
roster.
stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Their roster this year is Minisora, Watarakisa, Blevs, Zylat, Kaname-san 92, and Expired 112. I would say Minisora being a very well like all-rounder player in group stage, and Watarakisa having very good accuracy in group stage as well. So I think at this point it just comes down to like how their third player does do like in group stage. But that's gonna be interesting to see. There's this element of like unpredictability when it comes to Malaysia this year. So who knows? We actually could see them like really like get out of group stage easy here. We're just not sure. It really is like unpredictable.
Yeah, they are arguably the best low seeded team. So any of the low and high seeds might have troubles with Malaysia this year. So if they don't get a very hard opponent, then they might as well just pull it up. So for Group C, we have Germany joining Hong Kong here. And Germany, I'll say it's one of those underdogs this tournament. Like, they've been silent in general. Like, for some reason I don't really hear too much about their players, but they have Malox, they have Electroyan, Lastexi, Dom, Tyro, and Nico plays. That's the full roster. Every single one of these names I have seen before in one place or another, in one tournament or another. It's just that they don't really seem to be too interested on like the biggest community tournaments, so I'm not so sure what are their limits of how good they are in tournament setup. They having always playing on those like local German tournaments, or perhaps on more smaller tournaments like 2TMT, if I recall correctly, they were one of them. But I feel if they can achieve the potential they have, then they're probably be a pretty dangerous low seed too, honestly.
Yeah, I will say that Malox and Dom are like names that actually do stand out to me as like players that can really like stand out in group stage and can actually like, I don't know, they could definitely do some damage to some of the high seeds out. I would think. I'm kind of excited to see how that group's gonna turn out.
For Group D, I mean, if it is Sweden, might as well, right? Denmark versus Sweden seems like a funny matchup. And it is Sweden, actually. Oh man, I'm a legend. I am a legend, and we have Sweden on Group D.
Sweden this year looking a little bit different from what we're normally used to. Their roster being Sadcat, Vortex, Yoshiori, and Acox, which is 4 players total. So definitely, I would say a little bit truncated from what we're normally used to, but I don't think that's going to stop them from being a pretty decent team. Sadcat, Vortex, Yoshiori actually being a really, I would say, a solid base for 3 players on that team. I would say the only issue may be like fatigue from like having to play every single map in the pool instead of being able to like disperse that responsibility like evenly across like 6 different players. Instead, 3 players have to play every single map in the pool. So, and I guess a 4th, but still, it's much different from having like a full 6 to work with. So, but other than that, I mean, Sweden's always been like shown to be a good team in Mania World Cups, like bar none. So I believe they could definitely like put up that same performance this year.
With that being said, let's roll again on group. This time it's the E. It's gonna be
Mexico.
With Spain. It's Netherlands, actually. That's good. That's good for scheduling.
Oh, that's true. You get all the European teams together, huh?
Indeed. Netherlands coming in with a roster with Too Fast for You 98, Bakuretsu, Night Narumi, Freak, Kia, and Samuel H. Klumpers. I think this is in a pretty similar situation as like Germany, where you don't see a lot of the players, but I recognize a lot of the names like from elsewhere. And Too Fast for You 98 and Night Narumi coming to mind as players who have put themselves out there and played stuff like Soft 4 and done nominally well. Night Narumi getting top 32, I think, or top 16 in Soft 3. And Too Fast for You showing off his abilities, I think, this year as well. So they got strong players, and I think they're another team that it might have a good chance against some of the high seeds if they put a lot of their, stuff together and are able to put some good scores up for group stage.
Yeah, I would say, like, especially Night Narumi coming to mind, that is a dangerous player in low seed.
He definitely is. I'll assume he's gonna be one of the best performers in the entire group stage in general. At least in between the high seeds and the low seeds. Like, some of the top seed players are just ridiculous, so let's just count them off. But now, for the next group, on Group F, joining Finland, between Taiwan, Russia, and Mexico, it's gonna be Team Taiwan for the Group F. And this team, man.
Their roster this year is, I would say, based off at least rank, it's probably the best, one of the best rosters they've had in quite some time. They have OPL 95173, AW0. How am I gonna go about pronouncing this? Fo IAH, full AH. I don't know. 1217. Iron Orion, MMM, Lucky Gino, and 2ZI. There we go. This team, I would say, okay, if Malaysia is unpredictable, then I don't know what Taiwan is, because this is like, they can, I don't know, they've shown that they can be like really good at times. I think even last year they had some decent performance, so I can see. I'm not actually sure if they might make it out of groups, but if they do, I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, they actually have like pretty, at least like looking at some of the scores from some of the players, they actually do have like a pretty decent player base.
But as always, I think every single year we have this issue that Taiwan is just a big question mark. They have no impact, like they never play on any community tournament. They just show up for the World Cups, their ranks are ridiculous, and we're like,
what's going on?
What do we do?
What do they get seeded? How do they get placed? But nah, like really, they're just gonna be like someone to like look out for. So whoever ends up in the high seed and top seed that plays against Taiwan needs to just watch their back, I would say.
Definitely. Now into Group G and H this time. Venezuela will be facing the Russian Federation, and Norway will be facing Mexico, and that's a hard matchup for Norway.
Oh man, absolutely. Like, I would say actually even not to discount Russia either, because I know Mexico is like a really good like low seed, but I would say Russia is actually pretty consistent overall as well. I think they even they played last year as a low seed too, if I'm not mistaken. That might actually be. I would actually imagine Group G will probably go where Russia is like above Venezuela, but like it's there. I think both Venezuela and Russia are like decent. Like they meet like the benchmark for an unseed and a low seed in group stage out.
And for Mexico, I mean, I was always doubting about if it's Mexico a high seed or a low seed. Like if you see them on paper, they have the returning Mitros, Kaisteria, SP 566, which now name changed again to the Crazy Clan, and they have a couple of really insane players. And I think if they can make it through the group stage, they might get pretty dangerous later on. And with Norway as their unseed, I can see Mexico abusing the long no weakness that Norway has, and out of that, forcing at least a tiebreaker against them. So they should be fine in that regard. If they don't get a very high seed, I can see them going through group stage, no problem.
That's entirely possible, yeah.
Their accuracy is not that bad either, with both of the Crazies and Kaisteria. They have pretty much every single skill set covered other than SVs. And if they're rusted enough, they can probably make it out of group stage.
Yeah, I'd say Mexico's looking scarier this year than ever before, so definitely keep an eye on them.
But now into the high seeds. The danger is starting to approach here.
This is it. Like every single team in this category is insanely like consistent and similar in skills. And actually, just looking at the list of countries, I think there's one that stands out like an absolute sore thumb, and that is, if we were to seed by ranks, probably seed number 2. But now with how we're seeding for this tournament, a high seed, and that would be China. That is going to be scary.
Yeah, not only China, man. You have China, you have Japan, you have Chile, you have Singapore, Poland, Argentina, Italy, and I'm missing one of them. It's Indonesia. Man, all of these teams were the top seeds at one point other than, I think, Argentina.
Yeah, at some point. And Italy, yeah.
Like, these teams are insane. And I will not want to face any of this, honestly.
Yeah, you start to get to a point where you recognize every single player on the team because of how good everyone tends to be when it comes to high seed. And these rosters are insane.
Yeah, I think every single one of these rosters is just... Even being a top-seeded player, I would be scared playing against any single one of these.
But hey, it's time to spin the wheel. Let's roll Group A. Peru and Canada. This is probably a group I will not want Argentina to be.
Before Argentina.
And it's so close. It was China. It's China after all. That was an inch away.
that was right. That was
like
on
an
the
inch
dot,
away. Oh my god. But I mean, whoever gets their group, like the top seed that gets in this group, has a pretty hard time.
Yeah,
I'll say that
much. China, in my mind, is like the best of the high seeds. So if you're a top seeded player and I don't know, maybe if you're like a Korea or Brazil and you're possibly or probably going to fly through group stage, then I would imagine getting that group maybe not so bad, but any other top seed it's going to be a rough time there.
I mean, China is arguably the best high seed, Canada is arguably one of the best low seeds, and Peru is arguably one of the best unseeds as well. So this group is already looking quite scary. Like if Daceros can pull the team together, they're gonna have a really hard time, obviously, but they are definitely a threat too. So yeah, The roster of China this year is insanely ridiculous rank-wise. They have Satori, they have Forky Gameby, Donex, and Crazy XZ1Z1Z. And I mean, it was very hard to put them on the high seed, honestly. They were like, we were discussing about this so long. It was probably the thing that took us the most time to figure out in the entirety of the seeding process, because these guys are good at the game, but the top seeds are just ridiculous.
Like, they cover a very wide range of skill sets, but with the 4-person roster and potentially, well, actually, I think with the exception of Don X and maybe Satori, I would say like the accuracy might not compare to a lot of the top seeded players. That might be their only fallback in group stage, but other than that, they are scary.
Now into Group B, another one that has a pretty hard high seed and low seed and unseeds, Malaysia and Switzerland. If I have to guess, I will say Indonesia, but I mean, you never know. Oh, it's Indonesia.
Okay.
Scripted.
I dab.
It was almost Chile too. That was really close.
Yeah, it was very close. But hey, this is actually very bad news for Malaysia, I think, because I feel the things they can capitalize off a high seed are abusing other teams' weakness, and I see Indonesia as a team that doesn't really have a clear weakness. It's just that they are not as great as they were last year. They lost some of their top players, but they still are really decent at long nose, at accuracy, and SVs. So it's very hard to attack them if you're not very good at something. And I think Malaysia might struggle with that.
Yeah, I would just say, if anything, Indonesia just lost a little bit of raw skill, but just the amount of skill sets they cover is still exactly the same. And I think that's what really matters most in NWC, is just how like consistent you are across skill sets, because you can really like capitalize on that and take different points that maybe you just wouldn't expect from your opponent just because you're consistent at the map pool. So I could definitely see that in Indonesia, and I could see them just getting the upper hand over Malaysia because of that.
Shall we mention the roster for Indonesia? They are led by Ren with Exif, Lord Voker, Lux Azur, Reggie, and ID Cenotia. So that's the roster for them.
Parallels with the Malaysian players have the MY tag in their name. Indonesia got the ID tag now, so can see a little bit of rivalry going on here. This could be interesting.
Yep, that's one of the matches I want to see this group stage. Malaysia, Indonesia is probably going to be very high. Now Hong Kong and Germany. Who do I want to draft here?
Yeah, you're basically picking at this point.
Yeah, I'll say Italy, honestly, for scheduling sake. I'm fine with Poland too, but I guess
scheduling's always the most important.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Argentina. That's fine too. I have no problem with that.
I mean, that's your team. I'll probably let you take it away there.
Oh, I'm fine with that. Here we present 4-digit World Cup team because we are all 4 digits for some reason. But yeah, Argentina now coming on the high seed, probably on the weaker side of the high seed, I'll say. But they are led by Lujalvi, also known as Limber, Repus, Boss Plays, Carlos Menem, Spark, and Ado are the other team members. And I'll say that Argentina, it's again one of those teams that you don't really know what their weakness is. They have 3 players for long nose, 3 players for accuracy, 3 players for pretty much anything. I can see them struggling a little bit later on, but on groups, I'll say they are a pretty decent group, a pretty decent team for group stage. Their accuracy is pretty solid. Carlos Menem is the player to watch out for that. Boss Plays as well has a bag of experience. So they should be doing well. I hope they can make it through the group stage as they did every single year in the past. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I would love to be on that team too, but unfortunately I'm not. Man.
The Rip 1 Crystal.
The Rip 1 Crystal. But yeah, scheduling is gonna be bad for Group C. That's for sure.
All 3 of those teams are on opposite sides of the world.
Yep. But now for Group D, Denmark and Sweden, they'll be facing, let's say it's Japan. No, it's actually Italy. Okay, that's a very good scheduling.
I just saw Joel in chat saying like, oh, Italy Group D, Italy Group D, Italy Group D.
Dude, he asked for Sweden, not for Italy. He got both.
There
Amazing.
You go. Yeah, everything's going well, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's got life going well. Italy joining Group D with teammates Crazy Crybob, Mura7797, Cybel, Nixo, Kiraz, and Extra Doge. Names that come to mind for me being Crybob and Cybel and Nixo, all being extremely high-end players. Not to mention that they also got some pretty good accuracy as well, so they really shouldn't have too much of a problem getting through groups. I'm not exactly sure if you'd consider Italy as a team that has like particular weakness, though the most notable thing I can probably say might be SVs. But even then, I really don't know if they'd give
sure,
that
actually.
up.
Nix is okay at SVs, Crybob as well. I'll say if they have a weakness, it's going to be long notes. But
yeah, and also in the past, I think it's just been a thing that's been noticed. Just like Italy has had times where they just seemingly underperform, and it does like really like affect their standing in group stage. So really, I don't think the same will happen this year, but it is a possibility, and I wouldn't be too surprised if something came up, like in terms of like.
I mean, Sweden is a pretty good all-rounder team too for the low seeds, so that's a matchup I want to see. Italy versus
like
Sweden.
if there is any case of underperforming, then I do think Sweden actually does have a chance of taking this against Italy. But on paper, Italy is an incredibly strong high-seeded team, and really, I don't know, I cannot imagine them not making out of group.
Now into Group E, we're gonna be seeing Spain, Netherlands, and joining them it will be Poland. Again, another European group. I like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the Poland-Indonesia matchup this year.
Oh yeah. I mean, okay. So if they can face each other on semifinals losers bracket, I'm pretty sure about that. With how the groups are standing right now.
They can face each other somewhere.
That's seeing quite far into the future, but if that happens, I will gladly watch that match any day of the week.
Obviously. But hey, I say Poland is getting better with time, man.
Yeah, the team's actually looking like really good this year.
The Dark Dragon joining this year. I think he was not there last year. They have T-Deg, they have Hudunom, they have Underjoy. They have a lot of old people with experience, and they have those new shining stars like the Dark Dragon, who is not that new at all now, but he's probably the youngest in terms of competitive play, and Trixie as well joining there. C-Tex is also there, I forgot to mention him. So yeah, Poland is pretty stacked. And
I would say like
they are very dangerous.
Oh, early game they have just like they've got good accuracy players, and they've got. I know absolutely Poland is a country that definitely takes all of the skill sets in this tournament into account, and they definitely prepare all of those skill sets to make sure that they're performing their best for the tournament. And they're a scary high seed. That's really all I can say. Like their team, like you said, just keeps getting better with time. And I would say like usually like you see like the same roster each year, but these players keep getting better and better and better. So we'll see what happens this year. They could really put in some effort here and just. I feel like they just destroy group stage and have no problem getting out of it, really.
Now into Group F, Finland, Taiwan will be waiting for Chile to join them. Oh no. Scheduling rip.
3 separate continents.
Yep.
Well,
Chile is one of those top seeds that got knocked down though.
Yeah, that is true. I believe they are missing a couple of core players, and just one that really comes to mind is Urusai, or I don't know what he's going by now. But
yeah, Walter too as well.
Yeah, that is true. So their team this year is Seba X, Scalum, Tortudrigo, Arcaner, Yusei 5, and Zan. I would say players that do come to mind right now: Seba X, Scalum, and Arcaner. I know Tortudrigo is good with 7 key from what I remember briefly. So this will be interesting. I think we could see, like, I still think this is a good base for like accuracy and rice. SVs still look not too bad. I guess just LNs maybe a bit of a mystery. Like I wouldn't really know like how to categorize them, but
yeah, it's always been like that with Chile though. Even when they were top seeds, long nose was always the thing that we were not really sure how well they will do, because I mean Urusai was part of that core 3 mem, and he always had issues with long nose in particular. So now without him, they're arguably gonna get weaker because he was one of their mains in that aspect too. but I don't think they'll struggle too much early on. Now into the last two groups, Group G and H, between Japan and Singapore. We will have Team Japan joining Russia and Venezuela, and Team Singapore joining Norway and Mexico. And Group H for me right now is a big question mark.
Oh, actually, yeah, that is like
that's
I would say that's one of the best low seeds, and potentially one of I don't even want to say weaker high seeds because they're all very similar in skill. Levels, at least.
Yeah, it is not to mention that Singapore in general, like Bifernal and Polytetral are both very recognizable names. They're both very solid players overall. And then they have an accuracy player, like a straight accuracy player in Jacket Sniffer. So they have group stage pretty locked in terms of like, oh, this is the stuff that we like super specialize in. But, you know, outside of that, maybe LNs and other in hybrids and SVs are gonna like trip them up a little bit, but even then, Bifernal and Polytetral are both great SV players. Reviel is a very good LN player. They've got just a balanced roster overall.
And I want to say, let's not forget about Japan here in Group G, playing against Russia and Venezuela. Japan this year with a roster of JH Elite Girl, which is a great name change. I very, very interesting name change. I support it. Visa, Amduskia, or no, Amduskia 1996. I forgot how April wanted me to pronounce that, but that's whatever. Drew K, Fairy Phi, and Yanmi 1828. This is a team that I just see accuracy, and that's like they're gonna be their main, very strong. Like this is gonna be
no intel though.
No intel, but even then, without intel, they still have Misa and Duskia, and I know Sleek Girl is good with speed, and I think Rice would be up there as well. So really, like I think just any Rice, which I think as we'll see in the map pool momentarily, is going to be a pretty significant part of the map pool, and that Japan I think has a pretty I would say a straight shot out of group stage. But I think with that, we're ready to go into tops.
We should be ready to go, yes. We are reloading the teams. Eventually it will happen. Just wait for it.
Turning client.
Wait for it. And...
Here come the fun teams.
Oh, there he goes. But he got drafted instant. Oh, it's USA on the group A.
That is like... Wait, what?
Wait.
Wow, that was a thing. Oh, you have a pretty bad group now.
No, Eli doesn't. I do, but...
Ouch.
I'm chilling. Alright.
As
per usual, USA gets a hard... Yeah. As per usual, the USA gets the hardest group. Big sad.
Big sad. It's the USA versus Canada 3 years in a row. All in different parts of the tournament.
Yeah. Man, this group will be interesting. USA versus China, and China being one of the best high seeds, and USA, I mean, being one of the best top seeds, and Canada being a really, really good low seed. And man, this is...
You're facing Peru again on group stage, man. That's
sad. True, yeah.
We are. It's true. This is gonna be fun.
Oh man. Shall you talk about the US roster, Toph?
Yeah,
it's
looking a little bit different this year. I don't know if you want to take it away, Toph. Since
we're missing a couple players. We got some new guys. We got Electro, Toph Daddy, Gekido, Cell, Swardy, and Halogen. So we have some returning players. Some players returning from 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then 2 new players. So, Swardy and Cell being the new guys. I think we have one of the strongest accuracy teams in the tournament, aside from maybe Brazil. But even then, I don't know. We tried to make it as well-rounded as possible, got Swardy and Gekido in for long notes, as well as Gekido for the late game speed, along with Cell, and then accuracy and SVs on pretty much everyone in the team. So a generally strong team. If I say so, but I guess I would wait for the opinions of other players before saying something like that.
Yeah, I will say it is kind of interesting that the US actually this year they have 4 very, very well established SV players. So that could be interesting to see later on.
You're the best SV in the tournament for sure. Like US is honestly the best SV team in the tournament, in my opinion. No doubt about that.
I don't want to speak too soon because I know Korea's had like a history of having good SVs, but this year their roster's looking a little bit different, so I could actually see them maybe not being too good. So,
but yeah.
Probably...
Now let's present the rest of the teams now.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
So on the top seed, after the US got instantly drafted into the group of probably the hardest group in the tournament, we have South Korea, Brazil, United Kingdom, Thailand, France, Philippines, and Australia completing the top seeds here.
This is, I would say, a very, very interesting set of top seeds because these aren't teams that you normally expect to see. I think Thailand, Philippines, Australia all being new to top seed. If I'm not mistaken.
Philippines, I think, was top seed at one point, but not last year and not the previous year either, I think so.
I mean, they're definitely top seed in 7 key, but...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, my God.
But actually, yeah, Thailand is definitely a new one, though. Like, Thailand has always been the team that, man, this team has so much potential. They are so good, but they always get a hard group. They always get a very bad matchup, or there's always something.
Not even just that, they were low seed last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah,
last year they were low seed playing against Malaysia and the US, which is against them. So, and like, I would imagine if they actually did end up being high seed, they could probably make it out of groups. So, or at least last year. So this year, the fact that their roster is looking even scarier is like, I like them topping their group would come as no surprise.
But hey, let's now spin the wheel as we get into Group B. Switzerland, Malaysia, and Indonesia will be joined by the United Kingdom.
Very close to Thailand.
Very close indeed.
Oh, that would have been the matchup. Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. That would have been... Oh, man.
That would be crazy, yeah.
Southeast Asia, definitely.
So, what do we have to say about the United Kingdom, guys?
An even stronger team than last year.
I would say this is one of the most consistent and strongest rosters that they've like really ever had. Their team this year being Pikachu Nick, It's Jakey, Snaggles, Pope Gadget, So Fast, and Amosite. We did mention earlier that the US is a very well-rounded roster and has like, you know, team members that can really just cover any kind of skill set necessary. But the UK, I mean, they're in the exact same position too. Like, even their early game accuracy is a good 3-man roster for. Like, I don't think there's really anywhere they really fall behind except maybe SVs later on in the tournament. But right now, I mean, they're just absolutely top seed for sure. And I think any group they would have got placed in, they definitely would have topped it. And this is no exception.
Yeah, I think their biggest enemy for most of their matches for the past couple of years has been just consistency in match. Last year, they went to tiebreaker in group stage against Sweden because they kept losing their own picks off of misses. And with the new players and some old returning players like Pope Gadget, I don't think that's going to be an issue anymore.
Right now for Group C, I'll be fine with Australia, honestly. We'll see.
Like,
if there's Brazil, then I guess
Brazil.
that's fine
I want
too.
Brazil against Argentina.
That would be pretty funny. Oh, it's almost Australia. It's Philippines.
Philippines.
Here.
That's okay.
I'm curious about this group actually now. Now this group has my attention.
Yeah.
I think these 4 teams. I don't want to count Hong Kong off, but off the books yet. But Germany, Argentina, and Philippines. There could be something there, honestly. Germany is a really consistent team, so is Argentina, and so is Philippines. It's like they are not exceptionally strong at anything. They're just all-roundedly good. So we'll have to see here. It's an interesting group.
Yeah, I would say Philippines probably in a better position getting this group than other groups. Like if they got Group E with Poland, that would probably be a lot scarier, I'd imagine, if I was in that position. Or even Group D with Italy and Sweden. But Philippines still looking like an incredibly strong roster this year with Arquin Olivares, Cielode, Boji, Kura, Arj, and Sileska Elza. And I want to say, like, looking at the roster, like, it's scary. It is scary. Like, Boji having robot accuracy. Arquin being a very well-rounded player and has had a history of playing in many World Cups for, I want to say, what, past... Are we at 5 years now? It's been a long time.
I think it has been, yeah.
Yeah, so a seasoned veteran at World Cups. And then Cielade, who's a very well-established LN player, and Kura, who I think has recently been getting into 4-key, very, very well-rounded 7-key player with Rice. And I think with 4-key, I would imagine the accuracy in the Rice there would come out as well. And that would really, I would say, play to their advantage in Group C. So really looking forward to seeing the match with the Philippines. And I'm just excited to see them top seed this year.
Now into Group D, I'm just praying for France, for the Baguettes to be on this group. Make my life
easy scheduling.
Once. I'm challenging. It's South Korea.
It's like it's got to be the one team that ruins the schedule.
I mean
it's not too bad. There's still 3 Europeans and 1 Asian. Yeah, it would be worse if it was like, I don't know, USA maybe.
I feel like Joel just like had his like dreams crushed of like having
Poor Joel, yeah. But I mean, do we have to say anything about Korea? Do we expect them to win it all again?
I don't expect them to win it all again. I will say that. I'm gonna put the hot take out. I'm gonna put the hot take out. My vote for winning is Brazil this year.
Same.
Personally,
my money's on Brazil.
My money. I hate to do the US guys like this. They've been the boys for 2-3 years now, but
I'm on the US
Brazil
team.
Boys.
I'm on the US team, and I really like Brazil's so strong.
Yeah.
Brazil is ridiculous. Yeah.
Dude,
but so is South Korea, man. I mean, Wonder, Blue Bloody, Nausicaa, Sudden Death, Kalkai, and Kikinari.
I think South Korea pretty unarguably has like
a weaker team than last year.
Either the second, a weaker team, but they have either the second strongest or the strongest Rice team in the entire tournament.
I would like if it be the strongest. Like Wonder and Blue Bloody and Nausicaa is like,
not to mention Kalkai also being extremely fast.
Yeah, it's like Korea just handpicked like some of the fastest people on the planet, and here they are playing at MWC. It's really scary. Like I feel uncomfortable like saying like, oh, like, you know, fine, Korea might not win it all, but I really like can't discount them any more than that because their team is still incredibly scary. And like I guess compared to like their other teams historically, like it's not the like best, like bar none, but it's scary. It is so scary.
They're getting weaker, but they're still so much better. Like they were so much better in the past that it's hard to say that they are like incredible or super scary. They are still like godlike tier with Wonder, with Sudden Death, with Blue Bloody, with Nausicaa. Like those 4 players alone already make up for one of the best teams in this tournament. And not only that, they also have 2 more to play with. So yeah, Korea is definitely a top 3 this year, I think. I have no doubts of that. But then if Brazil or the US can take them down, maybe even the UK in a very specific scenario.
Well,
I like to see some variation.
I think the one weakness that Korea has, like barring like, you know, missing a third LN player sort of, is that they don't have the strongest accuracy in the world. Like, yeah, they have Wonder, but no one else on the team really like flexes the accuracy department. So early on is probably going to be the best time to like try to get them out.
Yeah, I will say, I think just given how accuracy might not be like a strong suit for a lot of the teams in Group D, Korea probably got the best possible outcome for them, and I think they will still end up topping their group by a very like large margin. But even then, like I know Wonder's accuracy is good. I think Blue Bloody might have decent accuracy from like what I remember, and
I'm just saying, the last time Korea dropped points on groups was against Sweden.
That's true.
That is true.
That is true.
They dropped two. That was scary. They had.
That was very scary. And they had a team too.
That was when if they lost, they would have faced the US in round of 16.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a scary morning.
I just remember you like pinging me. Well, spamming Jacads and pinging me and spamming the US channel.
I was like freaking. I was so scared.
I remember
Like,
the meme of has science gone this
Has
far?
science
or
gone too
something?
far?
That was so good.
Sweet
That
and
was-
too creative.
Is this image real or fake?
Yeah,
2
that was
to 1.
so good.
Sweden.
That was amazing. But anyways, let's keep rolling now. Group E, we're only 4 teams off completing this. Poland, Netherlands, and Spain waiting for opponent. If it is France, now you have a second chance to sort out scheduling issues, and it is Thailand.
You got dumped. No
mean-
full European group.
Yeah, no fully European group, and I'm not sure how I feel if I'm Poland now.
I'm scared. Is
Yeah.
the correct
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thailand roster this year, very, very threatening. Their roster this year is Mysterion, Nyarlathotep, Rule Blazing, Boss Mappool, Basic Mame, and How to Play LN. This roster is just so consistent, and I'm just seeing like, because I know Mysterion and Nyarlathotep, just how many skill sets they cover and just how well they do it is like, I don't know. I would be scared if I was Poland. Like, absolutely.
I think Thailand might be the biggest underdog in this tournament, honestly. I mean, no, they are top seeds, of course. That we expect all them to do well, but
Yeah.
I can see Thailand on a lucky run, perhaps getting into the top 3. Honestly, like if they don't like have to face Brazil or the US, I think they could probably be on the winners finals. Like
The bracket has to play into their favor. But I think at that point they'd either play Brazil, the US, or Korea. That's a hard matchup.
Here, this is the thing. Like, let's say that Poland miraculously beats Thailand, they will be facing Korea on the round of 16, right? Or if let's say Italy beats Korea, that will be interesting. I don't know how a round 16 matchup between these two teams can go, and perhaps if they face them and they can knock them out early, they could be on the top 3. I don't know. I'm just imagining now. I have a lot of faith in Thailand this year.
There's very specific setups that we're looking for, pretty much, to hopefully give Thailand the benefit that they need. Still like their roster right now, and just their potential performance really is like, I don't know. It's scary. It's going to take them very far in this tournament. I'm just excited to see their performance.
Now into the next group, Group F, with Chile, Taiwan, and Finland. I mean, I don't really mind who gets in here. I mean, if it's Australia, it would be bad, but other than that, it's Brazil.
Ah, great.
was
Brazil,
close.
Chile. We got the South American season there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Brazil, man.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Yeah, literally, where do we start? This is the best roster they've had in, I actually want to
Ages.
say ever. Like, I think this is
Yeah.
the best roster yet, and it's. Where do I start? Like, their roster right now: Lothus, Silly Fangirl, Urso Manso, Andre MC, Cute, and Felipe Link. And Felipe, well, I don't know. Like, now that he's actually on like I believe he's on a good setup now. Like,
I think so. Yeah.
that's scary. Yeah, that is just scary. If I were playing against Brazil, I would just, I don't know. I have no words, because that roster is just, it's quite literally the best that Brazil's ever had, and they've got all skill sets covered easily, and I would imagine it's almost like they have like a 4-man roster for each skill set.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, the accuracy is ridiculous. The long notes, late game, early game, mid game, anywhere, they got it covered.
Their everything is.
They just have
ridiculous.
everything. But now, into the last 2, Japan, Russia, and Venezuela. We'll be waiting for either France or Australia. And it's gonna be Australia joining them here on the Group G. And Group H, obviously, France is gonna be joining Singapore, Mexico, and Norway.
I think this worked out pretty well for both of those teams. I can actually see Japan maybe taking like rice points against Australia, but beyond that, I think Australia's got a good chance here at topping the group. Australia's roster this year being Potassium Up, Anim Girl, and Anim Grill. That's great. Water is Anim. Okay, we got a third one. Lusty Platypus and XBmon. This is a this is just a well-rounded roster, I think, and we've got good accuracy players. And I think actually good LNs and SBs in particular as well. So
yeah,
I mean,
Angel is so good at the lens, really.
Yeah, him, XVmon, and just yeah, I'm fairly certain that they'll have. Well, I don't want to say no problem topping their group. I think they will top their group. It's just gonna be. I mean, it'll happen. They'll make it work out.
But for the last group here, on Group H, France is looking very strong too. Like when we were reviewing the teams, I was like, wait a second. Like last year we were discussing, is France a top seed or a high seed? They were super close, like right on the edge, and this time they are incredible. Like they have Asuver, they have Elementaires, they have Antoa, they have Kunu, they have Pimox, they have Patos. That's the full roster. And I think it's the top seed that is going to be very dangerous early on. They might struggle a little bit when it comes to later stages, but I can see them being top 6, no problem. Like I will put them on my top 6 for sure. Not sure about you guys, but I think that they are very solid this year.
There's definitely that potential. I see France is just a really strong, just another strong, well-rounded team. And even looking at their scores last year, like they did better than what I remember. And I think like they can really just put in like a good performance this year. So I'm excited to see that.
Yep, but well, that concludes the live drawings here. We're gonna be having the Mappool showcase right afterwards in about 5 minutes. Before that, we'll be reviewing the groups real fast here. As you see on screen, Group A, Peru, Canada, China, and the United States, arguably the hardest group in the tournament. Group B, Switzerland, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the United Kingdom. Group C, Hong Kong, Germany, Argentina, and Philippines. Group D, Denmark, Sweden, Italy, and Korea. Group E, it's Spain, Netherlands, Poland, and Thailand. For Group F, we have Finland, Taiwan, Chile, and Brazil. Group G, Venezuela, Russia, Japan, and Australia. And completing on Group H, we have Norway, Mexico, Singapore, and France. So that's being it for the live drawings, guys. What do you want to say about these groups that we have right now?
Good luck to the USA and everyone else. I think will have a fun time actually. So I'm excited to see these matches. I'm really like
I want to see how some of these groups plays out. I think it's a lot of uncertainty between most of these groups, honestly. I think there are no-brainer choices, like, I don't know, I think France is going to top the group easily, so is Brazil, and so will the Koreans. But then after that, I will imagine the USA will top the group, but then China is so scary, and then Indonesia is so close to UK as well. I don't know, there's a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah,
so
and
it's gonna be interesting.
I think matches that I'm particularly looking forward to, of course, Malaysia and Indonesia. I want to just for that Southeast Asian rivalry, and then I guess also with that Group C, I think should be interesting to watch. And then I think a lot comes down to Japan and Australia, and there is a little bit of uncertainty there, so that would probably be a match to look out for.
I want to see Mexico, Singapore too. Poland, Thailand is going to be very intense too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Poland, Thailand is going to be, I think both teams are going to be preparing quite a bit for that. And Mexico and Singapore, actually that group really comes down to that match, like who really advances through there. So Mexico, Singapore, definitely going to be close. I can actually imagine that going to tiebreak.
Yeah, I will say so. There's potential for that. But hey, that's it for the light drawings. We're gonna swap to the break screen real quick and be back in like 2 minutes while we prepare some things for the Mappool showcase. And we'll having that in just a moment. So stay tuned, we'll be back in about a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the Mappool showcase. We're sticking with the same caster roster. We're still here with Thumb and Toph, or Stupid Man and Toph, I will say.
Works for me.
And yeah, we're having the Mappool showcase this time around. Before presenting it, I'll give some comments about it. We have this year for the group stage a best of 9 and a Mappool of size 13, so 12 plus a tiebreaker. We have 2 SV picks, 2 long note picks, 3 hybrid picks, and 5 rice picks for those who are interested on knowing before the pool. Then you have that information now. And of course, all the information will be on the wiki as soon as the weekend is finishing. I'll assume it's going to be up there for Sunday. But without further ado, we can start with the showcase. We'll be starting with one of the rice picks here. It's gonna be Electro. Oh, is it?
No, I knew just the banner and the bottom is standard chart, but no big deal. We fixed it up now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. I got scared for a moment.
I'm just joking.
I think the volume is a bit too high, so let's get this down a little bit, like that, and here we go. Yeah, we have a mint map to start here. Electro Peaceful is going to be our consistency pick. Let me start it right now as we go through it. This is, well, like I said, the consistency pick of the pool is pretty much just jump stream at 160 BPM. This is an OD8 and HP 8. And a drain time of 1 minute and 57 seconds.
Yeah, this chart is mainly just accuracy. Like, that's what you're going to mostly notice people focusing on here. It only comes into 2 minutes, so I think it's a bit easier to actually like focus on that for this chart. Normally in consistency picks, you'll see it like be upwards 3 to 4 minutes, and that can be really taxing like mentally for someone. So I think we'll see a lot more people be picking the consistency pick this time around. And I think especially this where it's like everything comes down to the ratio. So really keep that in mind when people are picking this, because I think most people, like, even if they drop out 200 here or there, as long as their ratio is like high enough, I think that's what's going to matter for this pick.
As you can see, this map in particular is a little bit bursty. Like, it's not only just jump stream consistency, but you have those 1/6 in between and some mini jacks, which can trip some of the lower seats, I'll assume. Like, those jacks could cause some misses and potential act drops. But other than that, the map is pretty straightforward. It doesn't really have any spike of difficulty anywhere. It's just like this the entire time.
Yeah, I will say when I did play through this the first time, some of the patterns did kind of like trip me up, and I think I dropped like a 100 and didn't even realize it, but like there's just potential for stuff like this.
Yeah, I think a lot of those mini jack patterns particularly have the opportunity to be choke points, and then a couple of the bursts can do the same thing.
I mean, once you get your hands into this map and you play like 1 or 2 times, you figure those out and it's no big deal. If you're sight reading this, you can definitely get surprised by the patterns here.
And with that, we're coming to the end of the first chart. That actually is a little bit of like hand stream towards the end there, so it does pick up in density, but with that ends our first.
Now into the second map of the pool, we're gonna have one of the hybrids here.
Yep.
Your turn, Thumb.
The update by Psyche, mapped by Kepsato. This, I would say, this is tricky. This is a tricky chart for sure. I would say, I think personally, this is the hardest hybrid. Probably out of all of them. This is coming at OD 7.7 HP 8. Only 154 BPM, but and coming in at 2 minutes as well. But this is about, actually, there's a nice little statistic here with the LN ratio. So this map's about 20% LNs, which is actually good to know. I would say probably look out for, I guess, some of the sections in the middle and the end. I think from what I remember, it gets really tricky and really dense in terms of timing. So I would say this actually plays like more of a like regular LN chart than a hybrid, or I guess you can consider like a LN focused hybrid.
Yeah, this is definitely the long no hybrid for sure. Like the other two hybrids we're gonna see later on, they sure have SVs. I mean long nodes. But this one in particular is the one that requires more long node skill than anything. Like you have some tricky patterns to release in general and pretty dense long nodes eventually. But as you can see, the map is not that long and the patterns in general are pretty annoying to deal with. It's not just the long nodes, but the combination of how the patterns are played out, plus the long nodes over top makes this map probably the hardest map in the pool, I'll argue. Not only the hardest hybrid. Like, this is the all-rounder pick. You need to be pretty much good with anything other than SVs to play this map properly. Those mini LNs are going to be like act drop madness.
Yeah, I will say just the LN sections, yeah, this part right here is like, it's very easy to lose accuracy here. Like, I think dropping 200s on the releases is going to be like more. But that, yeah, this mini jack or this mini LN part just for the last quarter of the chart or so kind of just lasts till the end. And I mean, this is the part that's going to really trip. And I mean, that's really what makes this like the hardest chart in the pool, I think, raw skill wise. So really, I would like imagine like this would be banned quite a bit.
Yeah, I imagine so too. But now into the third map here. Toph, mind introducing it? Fan favorite, I guess? I don't know.
Sure can't. Yeah, maybe. It's gonna be Rabbiton or Fallen Shepherd featuring Rabbiton strings and Endymion. Heavy difficulty by Kamikaze. Wait. He made a whole set of this. Whoa.
It's
I didn't even realize. Is it just the difficulty?
It's a re-uploaded difficulty from Halogen set.
Okay,
without any kind of SVs. I think it's just strictly like.
Yeah, it's no SVs and no mini long nodes basically. That's the
gotcha.
Changes to the difficulty. This is the speed pick basically.
Alright, and as you would expect from a speed pick, is pretty fast at 220 BPM, just under 2 minutes of drain time, and then an OD and HP both of 9. So accuracy is going to be a bit on the harder side to get correct. That's going to be neat. And you can already see some of the faster patterns coming in with, you know, the trilly bursts and overall streams and trills in general just being pretty difficult in terms of the speed, and they're actually kind of awkward to a certain extent.
Oh, they're definitely hard. And with OD9, man, they are very hard to get your accuracy out.
I will say, like, if this BPM's out something like you're comfortable with, like 220 BPM, this isn't like too far below like what I would say like a lot of denser rice charts like later on in the tournament will be using for BPM. So I think like this might actually be pretty easy to accuracy for some people. It just depends on like the kind of player you're seeing. But I would imagine like, at least for me personally, I had a bit of an easier time like getting good accuracy on the streams than like something like Electro Peaceful, because just like that BPM is slower and it's a little bit like slower and just hard. Like you have to focus way more on like, I guess, hitting precisely, where I guess with this kind of chart you can just kind of like feel the flow and get good accuracy that way. But with that, really dense streams towards the end, or at least relatively dense, and I would say probably something that a lot of speed players should be a bit used to, and I think a lot of people actually end up picking this. But yeah, that's gonna do it for.
I think this is a good opening pick, honestly, as a Rice team, because like if you don't have the best of the speeds in general, like your Rice is not quite on top of the levels, the other team can just capitalize out of this. I can see lower seeds dropping combo here, dropping a lot of accuracy if they cannot keep up with the speed. Although it's not the fastest thing in the universe, it's not like Scarlet Tempest, it's still pretty hard to control, and the OD is pretty high. But that's it for map number 3, and transitioning into map number 4, we have the first long no map in the pool, or no, it's not actually. I was wrong. I had the order incorrectly in my mind for some reason. Thankfully. Okay, now guys, let's just wait before presenting the map until the replay is there on the screen, just so we don't spoil the people. We have number 4, which is calling the HD difficulty. This is by Sec, and it's a bit by Mike Coyle. This is the SV reading pick.
Yeah, this for me, I think it was like not too bad a sight read. I think a couple plays on this, and I think people find.
I think a lot of people are actually gonna like recognize this map because I've seen it used before in some other tournaments, but it's because it's like actually really simple as a reading SV pick. Like it harkens back to something like what's it called, Fuego from a couple years ago, but it's a little bit simpler than that, and not as like obviously being used in group stage. It's gonna be less physically demanding, and the SVs are gonna be more sight readable than the ones in Fuego.
And at least this intro part here, there's not that many SV. I think, I don't know if it was just me when I was playing the first time, but it felt like there were very, very minor scroll speed changes. Like I think right there was a really small pause. I think here's the first SV part.
Yep. You have to read the rhythms really. Like if you know the song, these SVs are not really that annoying to deal with. But it can be tricky to act if you are not very familiar with the song. Of course, a couple plays will probably get the job done, but you know how people is with SVs in general.
I think here is just like a repeat of earlier sections, and it's really like, I think at this point, just like the chart becomes like pretty sight readable. Bit of more LN usage towards the end here, so I guess it is something to look out for certain.
It's a pretty fun map. I like it a lot. Now into map number 5. We have...
This is the one that was fourth in the line.
I think so. Wait, maybe?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
What is this order?
It's all good. It's all good. We'll figure it out. All right.
We'll figure it out.
We got framework by Quill here. This is gonna be
the double quill map.
The double quill map. I like it.
Double quill map back to back. This one, not really like the one before. So we've got a Jack map. I will say Jack with maybe like an asterisk because there are some other sections that are a bit tricky that aren't exactly Jacks, so definitely something to look out for there.
Yeah, it's like Jack, but a bit of tech in the middle, mini LNs, I guess.
Yeah, there is a bit of mini LN usage here, and I don't want to say staccatos because you don't actually release them that fast, but it's just like once you get used to the rhythm of the mini LN with a bit of practice, it should be no problem.
This song is a banger, by the way.
So sort of like Jack's jump stream, like I don't know what the exact right pattern here. They're like the terminology is something.
Broken jump stream.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I should know that. Anyways, yeah, this is mostly just like Jack's coming in. Like it's a very consistent rhythm in the beginning, and then right around now, I think. Okay, maybe not now. There are some mini LNs that do come in later on that could like.
They are here, if I recall correctly. Oh no, they are here. Okay, yeah, they're here. Yeah, that's 6 feet.
It's a part where like I think I can see a lot of people like messing up track. Like it gets kind of streamy there, so that's really like something to look out for. And that's gonna be the halfway point, and just as you can see, like just those mini LNs, like definitely gonna catch people's accuracies off.
This is a very high OD as well.
Oh yeah, OD 9.2. Actually on the mini LNs, OD 9.2. That's that actually would be hard for a couple players. So I would say I want to say it shouldn't be like it really should not be that bad for the practice. I think actually if anything I would be more scared of like flams like in the middle and just like messing up one of these stream like.
I think with the higher OD though, like most people might have issues with the mini long nose, but at the end of the day, if you're better at accuracy, you're just gonna outweigh that loss that you have on the mini long nose with just the rest of the patterns because they are so good for accuracy. If you're like an accuracy player, you're gonna destroy this map. Like, yeah, you might score like 200s, but your ratio is gonna be so much better than the others that you should probably be fine regardless. But that was map number 5. Let's jump into map number 6. Now it's your turn, Toph, and let's spin the wheel. I don't know which map it is.
It's gonna be. Wait a minute. Oh yes, I know this one. Cubisato, April Showers. I thought this was Electro Facebook for some reason, and I was like, wait, why are we seeing the same map again?
No, it's not. It's not.
Anyways, Drizzling, no SV version. This is going to be, as you might expect from the map creator, a long note map. I think this is actually a more release-oriented one.
Yeah, you're correct.
BPM
this is like finger coordination releases.
Oh yeah, BPM 79, drain time 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Most of these maps actually are like pretty short. That's like so.
Yeah, that's good.
Weird. I know it is good, but it's like every other year we've had like super long maps in the pools, and I don't know. OD6.
It's almost like you're happy you're not playing a 5-minute chart or something like that.
Whoa. Yeah, OD6, HP8. So accuracy on the releases will be slightly more lenient, but still not the easiest because look at these releases. There's plenty of shielding, plenty of mismatched releases, and just finger coordination in general is not an easy thing to get down.
I played this at 4 a.m. today. It was not that fun. This replays that.
Playing this the first time was like, like I don't know. It's hard. Like
it's very hard. Yeah, I think this is like if you're not a longer player, this could be the hardest map to pull, and it's the lower star rating on the pull.
I would still say just relative to previous years map pools, I would probably put this as harder than Rock Hill and easier than Jig.
I don't know if it's easier than Jig.
Oh,
I don't
Jig.
Think I think it's easier than Psycho due to the length, maybe, but I think that's the pick you have to compare it with. But it's definitely easier than Tic Tac, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, no, it is easier than Tic Tac Dreamin'. Jig was hard because the rhythms were awkward. Not really because it was LN difficult.
I guess that's fair, yeah.
That's it for map number 6. We're going to map number 7, and judging by the size of the replay file, I'll assume this is
this long one that I see.
Yes, it was Apollo 11. I was pretty sure that.
I was thinking of something else. There's an even longer map in the pool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's that. But now we have Apollo 11 Lunarian Stream. This is the stamina jump stream map of the pool. As you can see, this is mapped by Electron. So, yeah, there's not much we can really say about this map. This just pure jump stream with small bursts at the end of it. This is an OD8 HP8 map and 4.32 star rating with an LN ratio of 0.04%. So it's actually like 2 long notes.
Is this Voyage 1970?
Yeah, it's basically Voyage 1970.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when I played through this, it was actually a lot harder to like get MA on it than I originally had anticipated. I think there's a couple of like rhythms here. They're like these bursts that come up, not like towards the end, but I think I'm not really sure how to describe it. I think it'll come up. Like it's these staircases they might have shown up already. Just like really quick, like 30 seconds, I guess. And they're not sustained for very long, but they can definitely like mess up someone's ratio, I feel. And I feel like that's what matters the most in this chart.
I can say that this map drains stamina harder than most people would expect it to. Like, it doesn't really stop at any point, it just keeps going for 2500 nodes, and at the end it gets denser and it has this bursty 1/6 as well in the middle of the jump stream, so...
This is dense jump, this is really dense for root stages, I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like with jump stream it can be a little bit more dense because I think it's, at least...
It's 180 as well, it's not that fast.
Yeah, it is one. And I would say like 180 is pretty. I mean, I guess with how 4K is right now, 180 is considered slow. I know in 7K that would definitely not be the case. But yeah, like this, I think the accuracy on this shouldn't be too bad. I would say this is still like much easier to get ratio on than like Genesis and Oasis, for example.
Oh yeah, for sure. Genesis
was more comfortable pattern-wise, I think, but it was just way faster, like so much faster.
Well, not even just, it was more comfortable, but being more comfortable doesn't necessarily mean easier to hack.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Patterns were not easy to hack.
I would, for me playing this file, that jump drill is the hardest part to hack, which is interesting. But like at 180 BPM,
for me, that just this mini burst in the middle of the jump swings here, they are very hard to spot.
Oh yeah, I saw like a flam on T3. It was like that is. Yeah, like those bursts right there are like definitely hard to time. And it just like keeps going, like there's no breaks. I think this is pretty similar to AA from.
Oh man, that map. Yeah, but it's easier. But yeah, the non-stop theme, it's there. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now this is time for map number 8. I forgot which turn it is to present this.
I think it's mine. I think it's mine.
Okay,
we'll see what the map.
Which number is it?
This is map number 8. And you should be able to see it on screen now.
Fire, Cosmasa remix. Okay, this chart, actually, I would say probably the most fun hybrid out of all of them. And it's actually, I think anybody with like, even, like, you don't actually have to have like that, any familiarity whatsoever with that one to like be pretty decent at this. This is coming in at OD6 as well, so timing should not be too bad. I think even on like releasing the element really not going to be too representative, but obviously mini LN's coming in, so if that really does throw like you off, then of course definitely something to watch out for. But this is 190 BPM and 2 minutes of drain time. So overall, I would say this is actually, I would say one of the more straightforward hybrids. I don't think there's really much.
Oh, I disagree. I mean, yes, pattern-wise is pretty easy, but to mind block this chart, this is one of the easiest charts to mind block in the entire pool. Those long notes, like those anchored long notes in the intro, and the trills with one hand, they are very, very easy to mind block and just get completely destroyed by it. Other than that, I'll argue though that the map itself isn't really physically challenging, and it doesn't really have hard releases at any points. It's just this mini long notes that eventually will come, and mini jacks that will appear right after this with the long notes as well. That's the hardest part of the map probably, but it's not really physically demanding. I can see a lot of people just dropping those jacks and those anchored long notes a lot of accuracy or combo even.
Yeah, I can see like the mini jacks mixing with the LN0 maybe be a bit hard to time, but just this being on OD6 I think really like takes a lot of that like stress away.
Yeah, that's why I think it's mostly gonna come down to combo already. Like, with mind blocks, you can just break there. Like, release the long note too late or press the long note too late. I think those things could happen.
Well, I think with Score V2 on OD6, the ratio would really like be a huge factor in how people play the chart. Or how people score anyways.
That's it for map number 8. We're jumping straight into number 9, and this is your turn, Toph.
It is my turn.
We're gonna have the last long note pick.
Oh, I get both LN picks. Good. It's M2U featuring Guriri Magnolia by your boy Juan Crystal, the man I'm talking to. Stage 3 Enlightenment difficulty. As you might expect, this was used as a qualifier for a tournament like 2 years ago.
3 actually, I think? I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3.
I don't remember.
It was Australia. It was Australia's tournament, I remember that.
160 BPM, pretty short at 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Another OD6 LN map, so accuracy is a bit more on the lenient side. And yeah, this is going to be pretty similar to April Showers, just a little bit less on the coordination side and more of just, you know, keeping yourself in the groove with LNs.
Yeah, it's more simple than April Showers. Like, it's less stressful to play, I'll say. And in general, there isn't that many releases triggers, I think. Like, sure, you have some transitions like this one on the 440 combo, which people who are not familiar with long nose can very easily drop combo, but other than that, the map is just an all-rounder long nose pick. I think it doesn't really have a gimmick in particular that, like April Shower, which is like finger combination. So I'll say this is like the comfort pick for long nodes. This is probably the map that's not gonna get banned from the long node pool.
Yeah, I could just see April Showers being banned like much more. Like it's very release heavy and like really like makes you like focusing on those releases. I think here you can kind of like there's still a bit of like release timing here and there, like in the intro where I think like there's a hold on one hand and then just like an anchor balance on others. And I think even here like the release can be a little bit tricky for some players. So it's good at least knowing that this is on OD6 because I think some people might benefit a lot more from that, but I think others like still might struggle. And I think with that, this could see a couple bans here and there, but like it's more likely that April Showers will be banned. Similar parts of the intro here with those anchored release.
Those anchor releases kind of remind me of a bit of a slower reanimate that was used in 2017.
In a way, yeah, actually.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't see that. Well, hey, that's it for map number 9. We're going to map number 10 here. You can start guessing the tiebreaker. We're getting closer as we have the tech pick of the pool. It's my turn, right? Yeah, it's Rotary Slicers. Terminant 11 is the artist. Slice and Dix difficulty. This is a beat map by Sai. And this is hard. I'll say this is the hardest rise in the entire pool.
That's enough.
I think it's the longest rise too, so that's got to be a lot harder for some people as well. OD9 for 3 minutes on a tech chart is...
Yeah.
I'm seeing some adverse reactions from people, and I don't know what that's supposed to mean because
160 with 0.14 BVM. I like the map though. It's really fun.
Is this gonna be a monk too? Is that what this is gonna be?
Sort of. I can see that. Like it has some like bursts like those, like rollish bursties. But I don't think that's the main theme of the map. In general, it's like broken rhythms and eventually a bit denser patterns. It's not much more than that. At one point it gets a bit faster and it continues to be bursty for like 10 seconds or 5 seconds. But other than that, the map is like this. You have to spot the rhythms. That's the hard part of it.
Yeah, like really, there's just a lot that goes into like what makes this difficult. Like for certain groups, like it's going to be like comboing this and like making sure that they're able to like keep up properly. And for other groups, it's going to be like keeping that 200 count low because just if this comes straight down to accuracy, it's going to be ridiculous. Like there's going to be very few like A1 double S's on this for sure. This part right here gets so dense. It gets dense and it gets really hard to time, and that's really just like what the shark comes down. This is arguably like the hardest rice in the whole pool. But I will say for those people who have like really good tech accuracy, like immediately like the two main like tie players come to mind, like Yarlock and Mysterion, like this is. I think this is their territory, and just charts like this, like there are people out there that like they'll absolutely crush it, and I think have no problem like scoring on it. So I think this really like caters towards like those people who are like really talented.
What are those bursts?
Yeah, it gets really hard. But I still think, like, in terms of, like, how Rice has been balances out with LNs in previous tournaments. Rice generally tends to be like a bit easier than some of the LN stuff. And that's been like somewhat of a complaint I've seen for some like people in tournaments from previous years. And I think here, like, really the Rice is like taking the spotlight of being like the more challenging part of the pool and the majority of the pool as well. So I would wager this balances out with something like April Shower.
That's it for Rotary Slicers. We're going to map number 11, and I forgot which turn is again. But we have the last hybrid of the pool.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be mine.
Yeah, I think it's yours.
Right,
oh no, I get the tiebreaker.
Arc 4 by Electon. This is Electon's second map in this pool, I believe. This is going to be the final hybrid coming in at 3 minutes and 25 seconds at OD8 at 150 BPM. So, yeah, I guess let's get right into it. I remember that there were some parts of this, I think towards the end with mini LNs, I want to say, that were very hard to time. And that's kind of the main, like, for me, that's like the difficulty of this chart, is like timing it properly. I think comboing shouldn't be too bad, but definitely. Even like the rhythm here is pretty hard to follow as well. Like I can imagine people like not timing this out.
It's not something that you can just like, you know, stop paying attention. I don't want to say not stop paying attention, but like
Autopilot.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Which is like different from a lot of the maps in this pool. Besides like, you know, this one and maybe the previous map we saw, Rotary Slicers. Just because of how awkward some of the rhythms are.
They are very awkward indeed. Those mini LNs are hell. The ones that are on like 550 combo,
Yeah.
they are hell.
Yeah. Yeah, these mini LNs here are
really
so much harder to time, especially it being on OD8.
I mean, like, they're hard to time as like the head of the long note is really hard to time. Not to mention that it's already a short long note that people tend to have trouble with.
Bit of a Rice section coming up here. Some mini LNs here. This part's actually so.
Okay, that burst.
Combo, yeah. Oh yeah, those mini LNs, like even in the replay, like getting 200s there, is totally understand. Like I think for me, this and
Psyche?
Update for sure, like the hardest charts in the pool of time. But comboing, not so bad. That's sort of the main difficulty here. Like, I think here what's nice is that, like, I feel like the LNs and the Rice are like pretty similar in like timing difficulty. Like you have mini LNs and you need to get the releases down on those, and then you also have these really technical like rolls and bursts that get hard to time as well from the Rice part of it. It's really going to give all kinds of players a run for their money.
We're gonna go into a repeated section now, pretty much the same as we saw in the last chorus. I think the rhythm is ever so slightly different, and it's mini LN shenanigans again, but with less Rice this time around, so it's a bit easier to time.
Mini LN.
Mini LN here are very hard.
That's it for Arc 4, so only one map remaining before the tiebreak, and you all know what it is.
Good idea.
This is gonna be fun.
Alright, everyone knows this map.
Everyone knows this map, this category, and you are seeing it now on screen. Tough. I'm presenting it.
It's Batting Show! Everyone knows it!
Everyone knows this. Oh my god. It's been 4 years. 4
4 years. It's been 4 years.
It's been
last
4
year.
years.
Oh, weird. The leaderboard on this is.
Oh, it doesn't have Hans at the top because he got.
We're using a ranked chart for the first time in 2 years of Mania World Cup. And it's this one out of all things.
Yep.
This is the SB memorization chart, no need to talk about it. It's OD10 though, so good luck having accuracy.
OD10 on score v2 is gonna make it
Very
really
tricky.
dumb.
Map by Daiki, obviously.
I think this map speaks for itself.
Yeah, like it gets progressively like more and more ridiculous.
Time to bring out the ghost casting ability. Something that Walter Toro clearly doesn't need.
The god. I think the hardest SV of this map might be the one with the quad that's coming up right now. I mean, here.
Pretty soon.
Releases.
That quad is also pretty hard. And then the last node of the map is also probably the hardest one in the entire map. Like, look at that. Okay, he needed to actually ghost stab. That's how hard it is. Like, Walter had to ghost stab to hit the last node. So that was pretty hard. But yeah.
That being said, I mean, it is group stage like SV difficulty. So I mean, I would wager this.
I mean, you gotta get people excited somehow. It got the chat excited.
Yeah, for sure. But now into a tiebreaker. You had your guesses. Somebody got it right on the chat. I cannot believe that happened. And that person is Ravi because he guessed it right. It's gonna be B. Blackie V. Camellia Blast-Off Remix.
Nice beta.
Insane difficulty. Beta. I hate this chart and this tiebreaker. I hate it. And Durgo played it.
I'd like to give a big shout out to the best dude in the world, DD Mythical, for giving us that beta sign.
Yeah, and don't worry, this isn't that kind of difficulty. It just happens to be the name of the song. So let's make that very clear before we get into it, because I don't want to confuse it. We're not playing Time to Say Goodbye for group stage jump.
Nice. Imagine. It's not that difficult as a map. It's just, in my opinion, a bit biased towards speed because it's 280 BPM. It's very fast. It has SVs, it has longness, it has everything that a tiebreaker pretty much needs, but the main focus on patterning is control speed. Like if you can control 280 BPM single streams and eventually a bit more denser patterns, then you should be fine. It's a 3 minutes and 48 seconds tiebreaker, OD8 and HP8.
I feel like just having that beta side in the background is just so like it throws you off. It really throws you off.
Just turn off your backgrounds while you're playing it and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I would honestly still wager, like, besides these bursts here, like, the jump stream aspects of it, I would say it's similar in timing difficulty to, like, Endymion in the map. But then, like, when the jacks come in, like, just the density is, like, a lot. It really, like, it can hit you hard. And especially, like, these bursts right here around the 700, 800 combo mark are just, the timing is really, like, it is difficulty. There's a couple of SBs here. Kind of reminds you of Ragnarok a little bit, the 7 feature. It's like that one section with the SBs like this.
Oh,
so
you
those
remember that
kind
fail?
of like were designed. Yeah, those SBs in Ragnarok were like designed to trick you, though.
I mean,
These I don't
it just
think
requires,
are.
yeah. It just requires a little bit of practice to get familiar with, but other than that, no big deal. Halfway point here, and It's mostly been like some SVs, a little bit of LNs, a lot of like jump stream and jacks here. So
Yeah, obligatory break in the middle of the map so you can check the scores of the others on the tiebreaker.
yeah,
A staple.
see if you're winning or not. See if you can throw a couple combo.
Stress yourself out too much.
There's a long no par now.
I would say like considering this is OD8, the releases there might be a little bit hard to like play through and like get exact.
I like how this is like so intense for a group stage tiebreaker. It's
Yeah.
like you would imagine a group stage tiebreaker to be a bit more common than this, but this is just straight up
You'd expect the song to
chaos.
go,
Yeah, basically.
This speed stream section here is very rough compared to the rest.
I honestly think that we will see more time breakers than we think we will.
Probably.
This,
I mean,
group
that's
stage.
usually what happens in group stage. Like, you just don't really expect certain tiebreakers to happen, and then they just do.
Or you expect a lot of tiebreakers to happen and one happens.
Yeah. And that is the end of the chart. I would say like it's like I do kind of agree it does favor like the stream oriented players a little bit, but even then like there are still a couple LN sections here. Like if someone absolutely just threw like the LN section just after the break, like I could see this like going to another team entirely. So that, you know, there are still certain points of contention on here. But overall, I mean this map pool I was honestly expecting worse. I'm kind of like happy to see like turn out the way it did. I'm like kind of excited. I'm excited to see like what the map pool selectors had to offer like later on in the tournament as well. Like given the maps that are like available to them right now, I think they did a good job. And it's a bit of an interesting take. I think it's a bit newer than what I guess a bit more of a progressive way of map selecting than what people are I guess used to. I think Mappool selectors are trying to wane off the LNs a little bit, so I think hopefully it does end up working out. And I'm thinking it's exciting, and I'm excited to see how certain teams are going to perform under this new standard that they're setting up. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for the rest of this tournament. I don't know about you.
I mean, I am. For sure, I am. I'm looking forward to see how this Mappool plays out for the teams. I want to listen to the feedback from them as well. Once we get into the matches, we'll see as well. And I think some groups this year are very interesting. Like Group H is really interesting. Group C is very interesting. Group A is a madness. I want to see that. I want to see if China can actually like compete against the US. I think they might have a shot. Maybe not winning, but like taking a couple points. Something like China definitely doing. So it's gonna be very, very interesting. I want to see if there's an upset from the low seeds because they are very solid, most of them. And yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I hope it is.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just excited to see how next week's gonna go. Group stage across both Saturday and Sunday next week, and I mean, yeah, I'm just excited to see how things turn out. There's just a lot to look forward to, I think. So good start.
But yeah, that's been it for the stream for today. Everything will be updated during the week, and of course the map, all the schedules and all those important things for the players will be updated in the wiki, most likely tomorrow. I'll try to get it done today, but it's most likely going to happen tomorrow. Remember, if you're a player, you should have received a PM with the Discord server to join. You can have all the information instantly being posted there. So make sure you join that server, because that's where the updates are going to come up quicker than anybody else, like anywhere else. And yeah, that's it for me, at least. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I guess all I have to say is just check out the wiki page again for all kinds of information you need related to the tournament. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to next week, and I hope I can see you guys there. I think that'll do it for me. I don't know about you, Ted.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I'm really excited about all the matches, and I'm really excited about
He's already
this
practicing
tournament in
Mappool.
general. Oh, yeah.
Definitely gonna have.
I'm gonna be practicing. I'm gonna be practicing all weekend, my dude. Or all week, I should say. I've been doing my best to keep myself in the game. It'll be no different with actual practice.
Well, I think with that, we're gonna close it out for the weekend. So, I guess definitely see you guys all next week. And if you're interested in any schedule of your favorite team, please check out the wiki page. I believe, I guess tomorrow or the day after, we should have all the schedules posted up and all the Mappool information. Yeah, I think that does it for us. Take care, everyone, and hope to see you guys next week. And yeah, I think that'll do.
That's it for us then. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next weekend with the group stage for the Osmania 4K World Cup 2019. It's been a pleasure, and hope to see you all next Saturday.